Okay. All right, Shalom. First and foremost, all praises, honor, glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakha Kodash. All right, Shalakia. Yahweh's name, the Heavenly Father. Bahasham is in the name. Ba'in Hadasham name. Yahweh Shai is the name of the begotten Son. And Rakha Quadash means Holy Spirit. Literally translated Spirit Holy. Rakha Spirit. Quadash Holy. All right, double honors to the apostle of the great millstone. And shout out to the brothers doing this thing with sincerity and truth and maturity. And you see the title on screen, so you know it's a lesson about faith. We see what's happening in the world, man. Soon, Esau's gonna make his move, and hey, they talking about another set of lockdowns this winter. Whether it happens or not, don't matter. We know at some point Esau will come in like a flood. All right, we know that the siege will be fully upon America, and by siege I mean what? When there's a siege, there's limited goods, limited resources. All right, there's things aren't coming in and out as you used to, and that is happening with what? The mark of the beast. All right, which is the RFID chip. It says what? You can't buy or sell without it. So we know these things are gonna happen. And really, hey, look, it's those when it happens, it's not a time to get weak. Really, it should boost our faith because the Lord has told us about these things before they happen. All right, and we know these things. It's not like we haven't known about it. In fact, hey, you know what? Yeah. All right, so this is Revelation 14. Yeah, Revelation 14:9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture, into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. All right, and the smoke of their torment. So whoever takes that chip, man, is toast, man. All right, and the smoking of their torment ascended up forever and ever. They have no rest day nor night who worship the beast and his image, whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. Here's the point. Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of the Most High and the faith of Yahweh Shai. So we're looking forward to this, man. All right. So when all hell breaks loose, it plays out with us. Now I believe the Lord will, bless us. Of course, it'll be in His due time, but the scriptures say what they say, and we're going to touch on some of those scriptures, okay? Because this is a lesson about faith. Nevertheless, hey, our mindset is to serve the Lord, and what just say, strive for the truth unto death. It's a Rock 4:28. Strive for the truth unto death, and the Lord shall fight for thee. Our mindset is like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, man. Daniel 3. They want, just like then, just like now, back then, the heathens wanted us to bow down to him, man. And they was faced with death. All right? They was faced with death. Daniel 3:15. Now, he be ready that at what time you hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, and dulcimer, and all kinds of music, you fall down and worship the image which I have made. Well, but if you worship not, ye shall be cast the same hour into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. And who is that God that should deliver you out of my hands? Well, he didn't know. He ain't learned. And we're dealing with the power that controls life and death. That controls literally everything. Hey, as Yahweh Shai said, a bird don't fall out the sky, all right, without the Lord's commission. And he says, all I hear is I count it, man. So the Lord really has everything on lock, man. All right. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the king, O Nebuchadnezzar, we are not careful to answer in this matter. We're not going to bite our tongue. We ain't going to hold back. If it be so, our power whom we serve is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace. And that's the mindset we have. Hey, the Lord is able at any moment to deliver us from whatever lower state, hell, tribulation, whatever we face with. The Lord is able to deliver us, man. All right? It's that simple. And he will deliver us out of thine hand, O king. And the Lord will deliver us. All right? It's already written, we're going to get the kingdom. So the Lord will deliver us, right? Along the way, whatever tribulation comes, if Jake end up beheaded or whatever, Lord knows. One way or another, the Lord got us. So he may let us stay in this one tribulation. We're going to see. I believe the Lord really got us. Like, this ain't 70 AD, this is a time of victory. Either way, we got this mindset. But if not, be it known unto thee, O king, that we will not serve thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up. So even if it comes down to it, Esau, chip, or death, our mindset got to be like this. The Lord can deliver us from this death. And the Lord will deliver us, because death is just the spirit separate from the body. We're promised new bodies anyway. All right? But if the Lord allows Esau to take our heads off, so whatever. We're not finna bow down to this devil, man. And that's the faith. And that's the faith, man. The Lord is in control, and we can't stray to the left or to the right hand when adversity comes, man. Whether the Lord delivers us in an instant, all right, or he allows us to suffer for a moment. Either way, we do not bow down, man, because our faith, hey, look, man, our faith got to be solidified. It says, examine thyself if thou be in the faith. Second Corinthians 13:5. Examine yourselves whether you be in the faith. Prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves, how that Yahweh Shah Mashiach is in you, except you be reprobates. We should be able to look at ourselves, individual, know like, no, I'm really in this thing. I believe through the Spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Now, of course, may the Lord never take his Holy Spirit from us. Okay? We should be able to look at ourselves and know like, I'm really in this thing, man. Because, hey, Satan is always trying. And those are real life battles. That through the Spirit and power of the Most High, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, and the gift of faith, we conquer. So if we're dealing with that now, faithfully, how much more in that day when this is now just a manifestation of things that we've said? How can we not walk faithfully then? Hell, it'll be easier because we've been through the trials. Our faith has been purified. So we just got to get that right perspective, right mindset. That this is, at the end of the day, beginning, middle, and end, this is all about the faith right now. Fuck Esau. This economy collapse. That's good. That's good for us, man. Hey, it's already written. The fact that we got to go to this devil, one of all things, is a punishment, man. Fuck this devil, man. It's beautiful watching this shit collapse, man. Hey, it's Isaiah 10:20. It shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob shall no more again stay upon him that smote them, but shall stay upon Yahweh, the Holy One of Israel, in truth. So we ain't fuck leaning on Esau. All right, the Lord is changing, so we ain't gonna have to go to him for the one of all things. The Lord is gonna work his miracles, man. This is why faith, the mindset must be ready to, as the saying goes, prepare, expecting the best, prepare for the worst. So ready to go through whatever we got to go through, but expecting the Lord to deliver us, man. Any given moment, man. Because hope means expectation. These scriptures are not written for no reason. So we got to believe these scriptures. When the mark comes, that's a faith booster. When Esau comes with this great wrath and everything is on lock and shut down again, that's a faith booster. This is our salvation, man. It ain't like the Lord ain't told us this shit was going to happen before it's happening, man. And he told us this so we can believe in him. Hey, this is Isaiah 48. And 3, I have declared the former things from the beginning, and they went forth out of my mouth. And I showed them. I did them suddenly, and they came to pass. Because I knew that thou art obstinate, and thy neck is an iron sinew, and thy brow brass. I have even from the beginning declared it to thee. Before it came to pass, I showed it thee, lest thou shouldest say, mine idol have done them. So the Lord told us these things, so we know exactly who's doing it. And my graven image and my molten image hath commanded them. Thou hast heard, see all this, and we will not ye declare it. That's why we speak it, man, because we see the Lord's will and word being performed. That's why it's important to go through the beast in Daniel, the prophecies that have now become history, because it showed the Lord controls all things. All right. Even the slavery and the hell we're going through right now is a sign unto us, man. It's a faith booster to know the Lord did these things, which means the Lord is going to deliver us, man, from these things. So when this shit break loose, now this ain't a time to get weak. All right. This really is a time to turn up in the spirit, man. Rely on our faith more than ever, man. That's why we've been, our faith has been getting stored up for this moment that's coming. Thou has heard, see, let me grab this precept first. It's like Isaiah 33:6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of Yahweh is his treasure. And this word treasure means something stored for future use. All right, and we know Hebrews 11, I believe, verse 7, fear and faith are synonymous. All right, to have faith is to fear Yahweh. All right, and to truly fear Yahweh is to have faith. It says, what is a treasure, man? Something stored for future use. Now is the time where the faith really is in full effect. The trials, the tribulation, everything we've been going through, it worked our faith, so our faith can be more perfected, like gold. 1 Peter 1:7. Now's the time is our faith going to be shown and used, man. To believe the Lord will bring down water out in the midst of a desert. To believe the Lord will bring food in the midst of famine. To believe the Lord will guide us through whatever evils and deliver us from whatever evils is happening, man. It's not a time to get weak and start contemplating on how I'm going to do this carnally. What can I do by my will and power? And damn sure ain't the time to start contemplating on taking a fucking chip, man. That's just a death sentence. That's crazy. Esau ain't shit, man. Believe that, man. Damn. How's it worded? I'm looking for it's a scripture. If a brother can find it, put it on comment board. Yahushua was speaking. I believe it was to Pilate. He said, basically, you can do nothing unless the Father allow you to. Talk, concerning his life. So you can do nothing to him unless the Father allowed it. Showing that Yahushua trusted in the will of the Lord. Fuck. Oh, I hate this flesh, man. Let me type in aloud. A brother posted soon enough. And shalom to you out there, man. I'm gonna hit the comment bar in a second. And this is Isaiah. Isaiah 51. Man. I really want that precept. Here we go. John 19:11. Sometimes I forget about the power of Google. You can loosely phrase it, and Google does whatever. The Lord raw. He gave Esau this technology, man, for us, man. The world was made for our sakes. Hey, this is St. John 19:10. Then said Pilate unto him, Speakest thou not unto me? Knowest thou not that I have power to crucify thee, and have power to release thee? Yahushua answered, Thou couldst have no power at all against me, except it were given thee from above. Therefore he that delivered me unto thee had the greatest sin. And from thenceforth Pilate sought to release him. He was cut. He just told him, you ain't got no power, man. You was set up. The Lord put you here, man. This is the will of the Lord right here. Same thing now, man. Whatever happens can only happen if the Lord allows it, man. So we can't seek carnal means or seek Esau Edom and to be delivered back Esau Edom. No, we got to fall into the hands of living power, man. Trusting in his will. It only makes sense because no matter what, he's the one that's controlling any fucking way, man. Sirach 2 and 13. 12. Woe be to fearful hearts and faint hands, and the sinner that goeth two ways, looking to the left and to the right, instead of just staying on the straight. Stand faithful, man. Woe unto him that is faint-hearted, for he believeth not, therefore shall he not be defended. Woe unto you that have lost patience, and what will ye do when the Lord shall visit you? We got to keep hope in the Lord, man. Waiting on the Lord's mercy, his deliverance. All right? They that fear the Lord will not disobey his word, and they that love him will keep his ways. They that fear Yahweh will seek that which is well pleasing unto him, and they that love him shall be filled with the law. They that fear the Lord will prepare their hearts. And here we go. They that fear the Lord will prepare their hearts, and humbled their souls in his sight. And Yahweh Shai humbled himself, laid his life down willingly. All right? Trusting in the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. That's the mindset we got to have, man. All right? And it starts now, man. The faith don't start then or now, but nah, it starts now. Preparing our hearts now, set that heart aright and constantly endure, making our haste in a time of trouble. All right, preparing our hearts now mentally, man. Whatever comes our way, counting the cost. When we first heard this truth, our mind should have been made up then. Like, look, being fully convinced. That's why we in this thing, right? We was fully convinced, fully persuaded. And it's a thing of whatever comes, I gotta fight. Even when my flesh, with your flesh, it's in your brain, man. You hear it. You feel it. Our mind is set to even be contrary to that, man. Like, we're going to follow the spirit. Nothing can take us away from this truth. Nothing can make us turn on the Lord. That's the mindset we have to have, man. Of course, Abba Ratazah, which means Father willing. All right? Because the Lord controls all things. He took the spirit from King Saul. But our mindset is to endure, man. Constantly endure, man. All right? So we prepare our minds. Saying we will fall into the hands of the Lord and not into the hands of men. For as his majesty is, so is his mercy. So end of the day, that's what we got to trust in the Heavenly Father. We got to fall. It's like the trust. When I read this, we visual readers, man. That's what a prophet was called. What? A seer. So when I read this, I always see it the same way. It's the trust exercise. All right, and we falling back into the hands of the Lord, man. Trusting in his mercies. It's the Lord's will whether we stand or fall anyway. So what sense does it make to try to do things according to the hands of men? Take things in our own hands. To get cavemen and Esau, what sense does that make? It's only wise to trust in the fear of the Lord and hope for his mercies, man. For as his majesty is, so is his mercy. And the Lord's majesty can't even be described. It's so far out. It says in Sirach 43 that in trying to describe the Lord will come short. There is not a word, all right? There's not a good enough adjective to describe how great the Lord's majesty is. That's how his mercy is. It's far out. Can't be described, man. So that's what we got to hope for, man. His mercy. That's the faith. Against hope, having hope, man. Odds are against us. We've fucked up countless of times, man. Sinned. And the Wadi Habashim Yahshua. The Wadi Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, yes. But also the Wadi Yahweh Kaya Yahweh Shai. For Yahweh Shai, okay? Which is our atonement, man. Which is our atonement, man. Seeking his mercy. Hey, this Isaiah 51. Oh, you know what? I want to look at some comments. I know Jake going in. Brother, because Bonnie Howard been going hard. He done put 3 lessons on the comment board. Let me scroll through some. Yeah, this is a good one. They all are. You know what I mean, though. Sirach 20:32. Necessary patience and seeking of the Salakia. Necessary patience and seeking the Lord is better than he that leadeth his life without a guide. And that patience means to endure, man. All right, so we're better enduring, waiting on the Lord. All right, is better than going about taking things your own hand, doing things your way. Which the Lord controls everything. You go on your own path, all you're going to do is set yourself up for failure, man. All right? He put a lot of these good ones. I got it. This Psalms 118:6. Yahweh's on my. And we gotta believe this, Akim. We got to believe this right here. Psalms 118:6. Yahweh was on my side. I would not fear Salakia. Yahweh was on my side. I would not fear. What can man do unto me? This is one of my favorites right here. Psalms 3 to the point 6. I would not be afraid of 10,000. Hold on. I gotta start up. I'm gonna start at 1, man. It's 8 verses, man. Fuck it, right? Psalms 31, the Psalm of David when he fled from Absalom, his son. Yahweh, how are they increased that trouble me? Many are they that rise up against me. Many there be which say of my soul, there is no help for him in the Most High, Selah. And that's what the world is like right now, man. All right? From family members to exes, all right, to so-called friends you once had in the world. They look at you crazy. This nigga tweaking. Especially heathens. They think we just on some other shit. You got niggas that say, oh, y'all so ashamed. Y'all trying to take a white man's hair. Look, man. This book condemns these red devils, man, who aren't white. They're red. All right? And they really think that this is it. Niggas, Latinos, Native Americans, heathens, they all think that this is it. We just stuck here in the hands of this damn, or as they put it, white man. And they scoffed the hell out of us for speaking against this devil, man. Crazy. But thou, O Yahweh, art a shield for me, my glory and the lifter up of mine head. We won't be at this bottom, this low level of state forever. It's an easy thing for the Lord on a sudden to make a poor man rich. And honestly, we about to experience that, brothers. We about to experience that. When all hell breaks loose, the Lord is going to turn up for his servants, man. The hell is for our salvation. How is the Lord not going to turn up, man? He's doing this to deliver us. James the 5th chapter, man. This economy crashing is to deliver us. Not to worry us, to put us in panic mode. This is our deliverance. The mark of the beast coming. So these motherfuckers get this ultimate judgment and to save us, man. I cried unto Yahweh with my voice, and he heard me out of his holy hill, Selah. I laid me down and slept. I awaked, for Yahweh sustained me. The Lord has been keeping us, what you say, daily loaded us with benefits. I will not be afraid of 10,000s of people that have set themselves against me round about. So, man, fuck these heathens, man. The Lord is with us. And that's the point of the lesson, man. The Lord is with us. Arise, O Yahweh, save me, O my power, for thou hast smitten all my enemies upon the cheekbone. Thou hast broken the teeth of the ungodly. Salvation belongeth unto Yahweh. Thy blessing is upon thy people, Selah. Call halal Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai, man. All right, which call halal means all praises. All right. This is Isaiah 51. I'm going to bounce around. I'm going to start at 1. Isaiah 51 and 1. Hearken to me, ye that follow after righteousness. Ye that seek Yahweh, look unto the rock whence ye are hewn, and the hole of the pit whence ye are digged. All right? And now rock is Yahweh while Yahweh Shai. And King David said, I love how this is worded. You Old Testament only goofies like just that, goofies. This is the right one. Yeah, this is Psalm 22. And 2, right? And he said, Yahweh, now 1. And David spake unto Yahweh the words of this song in the day that Yahweh had delivered him out of the hand of all his enemies and out of the hand of Saul. And he said, Yahweh is my rock and my fortress and my deliverer, right? The God of my rock. So that's another rock. That is Yahweh Shai. All right? Which is the image of the Heavenly Father. He's his son. He has the same mindset, same judgment. All right? The God of my rock, and him will I trust. He is my shield and the horn of my salvation. Yahweh Shai means what? He delivers. He saves. My high tower and my refuge, my Savior, thou savest me from violence. Okay? So back in Isaiah 51 and 1, hearken to me, ye that follow after righteousness, ye that seek Yahweh, look unto the rock whence ye are hewn, and to the hole of the pit whence ye are digged. And what's the pit? Second Esdras. Well, I might as well get it, right? Let's do it this way. Second Esdras 5:24. And of all lands of the whole world thou hast chosen thee one pit, and of all the flowers thereof one lily. And among all, I'm gonna jump to 27. And among all the multitudes of people, thou hast gotten thee one people, and to this people whom thou lovest, thou gavest a law that is approved of all. Now you know this is talking about the Israelites, man. All right, the land is talking about Zion. Oh, I could have read verse 25. I skipped. I didn't even see it. It's right there. Verse 20. I'm gonna read 24 over. And of all lands of the whole world, thou hast chosen thee one pit, of all the flowers thereof one lily, and of all the depths of the sea thou hast filled thee one river, and of all builded cities thou hast hallowed Zion unto thyself. So this one great land is talking about Israel, man. So this pit in Isaiah is Israel. All right. So just talking about who we are. I don't want to look into it. A pit, well, cistern. What's it say? Drink water out of their own cistern. Okay. Cisterns cut of stone. Con. But anyway, con. So we the Israelites, man. What does it mean to be Israelite? Yasharallah, he prince of power, man. So this is for us to take heed, man. Look unto Abraham your father, and unto Sarah that bare you. For I called him alone and blessed him and increased him. For Yahweh shall comfort Zion. All right. The Lord made a promise to Abraham. He gave us the land that he promised to our father. Now we sinned and got removed from that land. But here we go. The Lord is going to place us back, man. He will comfort all her waste places, and he will make her wilderness like Eden and beautify us, man. And her desert like the garden of Yahweh. We're going to be that beautiful plant again, that chief vine. Joy and gladness shall be found therein, thanksgiving and the voice of melody. Hearken unto me, my people, and give ear unto me, O my nation. For a law shall proceed from me, and I will make my judgment to rest for a light of the people. My righteousness is near, my salvation is gone forth, and mine arm shall judge the people. The isles shall wait upon me, and on my arm shall they trust. So the Lord is not going to leave us in hell. That's why we have this truth. That's why we have this light. All right, which is this word, which is Yahweh Shai. Lift up your eyes to the heavens, look upon the earth beneath, for the heavens shall vanish away like smoke, and the earth shall wax old like a garment. And for this to come, that mark of the beast must come. This collapse must come. That siege must be in place. Esau got to come down with that wrath. And they that dwell therein shall die in like manner. But my salvation shall be forever, and my righteousness shall not be abolished. Hearken unto me, all ye that know righteousness, the people in whose heart is my law. This is Romans 12:2. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of the Most High. So we're the ones that know righteousness, man. Because we are seeking Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, who is righteous. And how do we obtain it? With faith in Yahweh Shai. That is our righteousness, man. Yahweh Shai came, lived perfectly, righteously, without sin. Okay? So we in a good place right now. May the Lord keep us in his truth, man. Keep us in his word. Hearken unto me, ye that know righteousness, the people in whose heart is my law. These are the Israel, for one salvation is for us only. This is us getting delivered out of captivity. Fear ye not the reproach of men, neither be ye afraid of their revelings. For the moth shall eat them up like a garment. They finna die, and we get everlasting life. And the worm shall eat them like wool. But my righteousness shall be forever, and my salvation from generation to generation. Awake, awake, put on strength, O arm of the Lord. And that arm of the Lord is Yahweh Shai. Awake as in the ancient days, in the generations of old. Art thou not it that had cut Rahab and wounded the dragon? Which is talking about Egypt. I'm going to go ahead and emblematic name of Egypt. Okay? Rahab. And this is spiritual Egypt, right? And we're in the hands of the new dragon, all right, which is Edom. Rome 2.0, Revelation 12. All right? And it said the arm of the Lord delivered us out of all Egypt. What is that? And 1. Moreover, brethren, I would not that ye, 1 Corinthians 10:1. Moreover, brethren, I would not that ye should be ignorant how that all our fathers were under the cloud, and all passed through the sea, and were all baptized unto Moses in the cloud and in the sea. So we were encompassed by that cloud, and we walked with the sea to our left and to our right on dry ground. By the way, the Lord didn't just separate the water. You know, Esau sounds this wind, talking about some wind that came, and I don't know, some shit. You know, niggas be trying to be deep, just talk shit. I think I heard this from a nigga. I ain't even looking to it. But a wind came, and that separated the water. No, the Lord worked a miracle to the point where the water was separated. But not only that, the ground was made dry. It wasn't muddy. It was dry to show the Lord did this miracle. This wasn't some tsunami, hurricane type shit. No, the Lord did this. He even made the ground dry. and they all eat the same spiritual meat, and they all drink the same spiritual drink, for they drank of the spiritual rock that followed them. That is the spirit, and that rock was Yahweh Shai. That rock was Mashiach. So like we avoid that C word. The word that should be here is Mashiach. And even they want to put an English word that they can put Messiah, which comes from Mashiach, and it means anointed. All right. What was I finna grab right here? Oh yeah, followed. Because follow also means this: to follow one who precedes, of course. But then it says, join him as his attendant, accompany him. To join one as a disciple, become or be his disciple, side with his party. All right. So it's not like the people led the chariot. No, we was together. It also means to accompany, to be in the same with. All right. So Yahweh Shai was in the chariot, man. He led us out of Egypt. He is the arm of the Lord, man. And that's the same person, man, all right, who's of course more than a man, delivering us now. Greater works about to be done. It's gonna, old Egypt won't even be talked about as well. Let me say it like this: it'll pale in comparison to this salvation from this Egypt. That's Jeremiah. What's that? 16. A brother posted. This is back in Isaiah 51 and 10. Art thou not it which hath dried the sea, the waters of the great deep, that have made the depths of the sea a way for the ransom to pass over? Therefore the redeemed of Yahweh shall return and come with singing unto Zion, and everlasting joy shall be upon their head. They shall obtain gladness and joy, and sorrow and mourning shall flee away. I am he that comforteth you. That word comfort means with strength. Come with and strength, like fortitude, all right, or fortress. Who art thou that thou shouldest be afraid of a man that shall die, and of the Son of Man which shall be made as grass? That's plain. It sounds so hard. We looking for eternal life. How are we going to fear somebody that's finna die? We serve the power that dwelleth from everlasting to everlasting. Never had a beginning, never had an end. He served Yahweh Shai that never has an end. Fuck, we ain't got to worry about nothing. And forget is Yahweh thy maker, that hath stretched forth the heavens and laid the foundations of earth, and has fear continually every day because of the fury of the oppressor, as if he were ready to destroy. And where is the fury of the oppressor? All right. Yeah, we know Esau's coming down with great wrath, but we ain't to fear this fury, man. To the point we're gonna say, where's that fury? Esau ain't gonna be able to touch us, man. The Lord got us. All right, the Lord got us. The captive exile hasteneth that he may be loosed. He should not die in a pit, nor that his bread should fail. So we're looking forward to being delivered. And for us to be delivered, this place must be overturned. The economy must collapse. The mark of the beast must come. Martial law must come. Violence must come. And all the other plagues, man. But this is our salvation. 100% our salvation. I believe I'm check some comments and get ready to wrap it up, man, because that really was the point. So like, looking at, I had other precepts that I wanted to reach. But it's all through the spirit. Spirit like the wind. Oh, I ain't hit that Joe 5. Check comments though. Yeah, the brother posted that Jeremiah 16 and 14. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that it should no more be said, Yahweh liveth that brought the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. But Yahweh liveth that brought the children of Israel from the land of the north, while we North America, and from all the lands whither he had driven them, I will bring them again into their land that I gave unto their fathers. So the North America is going to be the greatest deliverance. It was specified, by name, but he's getting us from everywhere we've been scattered, man. That's why this word had to reach the four corners. This is Isaiah 55 and 6. Seek ye Yahweh while he may be found, call ye upon him while he is near. Let the wicked forsake his way, and the unrighteous man his thoughts. And let him return unto Yahweh, and he will have mercy upon him, and to our power, for he will abundantly pardon. That's what we're looking for right there, that mercy. All right? Hey, that's why it says we have the ministry of reconciliation. All right? We're doing this work and doing all through faith, man, to be friends again with the Most High. That's what reconcile means, to be friendly again. Hey, this is Luke 12:4. And I say unto you, my friends, as a spirit, my friends, be not afraid of them that kill the body, and after that have no more that they can do. Yeah, Esau kill you, now what? We go to the Heavenly Father. Hey, the Lord, how Revelation is written, I put like this, how Revelation is written, we're going to find out, we're going to find out for sure if it happens this way. But I believe the Lord is going to bring some bodies, some humans back that may have died, etc., to get put in that fire, man. To get tossed in that second death. That's how much power the Lord has. So we ain't to fear Esau. He kill you once, that's it. Hey, the Lord can put your ass back here to get more judgment. But I will forewarn you whom you shall fear. Fear him which after he hath killed, had power to cast into hell. Yeah, I said to you, fear him. And we got, what is that, 1 Thessalonians 4? It's written about the elect that's passed. Like we got Captain Lee, in Chicago, we call him Captain Lee. All right. He passed away. He was murdered by some niggas, We got Elder Nathaniah, who's passed. All right. And then we have brothers in different camps that's passed, man. All right. In Vegas, etc. Of course, the elders of apostles, who's passed. But 1 Thessalonians said they're going to be first in the chariots. Esau can't stop that. They're getting the first deliverance. They died in their works. They guaranteed elect. They died in their works. That's guaranteed elect off rip. So ain't no fear in Esau. He do that, whatever. All right? And still getting the salvation. To go against what the Lord say do, though, you can get death, reanimated, and put into the fucking furnace, man. Not to burn forever, man. No, not like that. But the Lord will bring your ass back to life so you can get that ultimate judgment, man. That's what we're dealing with. Now, of course, on a consistent basis as far as the cycle of life goes with this scripture, is going to, like they ask, who did sin and he was born blind? The Lord, after you die, it says what? You should, I don't want to butcher it. That's why we see people born retarded, all type of issues. They're on different hill. Psalms 14:35. After death shall the judgment come, when we shall live again. You see, motherfuckers that's fucked up out here. They did some wickedness, and they got put in fucked up situations. They got put in hell when they was born back. And then shall the names of the righteous be manifest, and the works of the ungodly shall be declared. All right. Let me go back to this. Yeah, Luke 19:27. But those my enemies, which were not that I should reign over them, bring hither and slay them before me. All right. So anybody that's going contrary to the Lord, that lost patience, wants them lost patience, man. All right, they're gonna feel some shit. But we looking forward to the salvation. We looking forward to the deliverance, man. Fuck Esau, fuck whatever. This is all for our benefit. All right. Job 5 even tells it. This is happening because what Esau's been doing to us, man. He got rich off of us, man. He got to go. Hey, this Job 5. Job 5:6. Although affliction cometh not forth of the dust, neither doth trouble spring out of the ground. Hey, the Lord create good and evil. Yet man is born into trouble. Man coming from the dust. As the sparks fly upward. I will seek unto the Most High, and unto the Most High will I commit my cause. That goes back to that Sirach we read, the second chapter, last verse. We're going to fall into the hands of the Lord, man. Hoping for his mercy. Which doeth great things and unsearchable, marvelous things without number, who giveth rain upon the earth, and sendeth waters upon the fields, to set up on high those that be low, that those which mourn may be exalted to safety. He disappointed the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform the enterprise. Esau's plan is going to fail. Esau's walking himself to the pit. He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the froward is carried headlong. Esau wants to rule so bad, he's gonna chip motherfuckers. And we've been telling him that the chip is the mark of the beast, and this is your destruction. He's still gonna do it. He's still been taking down his own craftiness, man. Fucking goofy. They meet with darkness in the daytime and grope in the noonday as in the night. This shows the Lord is in control. He saveth the poor from the sword, from their mouth, and from the hand of the mighty. And the Lord has been showing us this, man. Esau to put us on the southern, what is it, SPL, Southern Poverty Law list. All right. They wanted to label us as black identity extremists. And the Lord put a spirit on a woman. All right. Representative Baz. All right. To speak against the FBI, trap them up in their own fucking words, and mention the Israelites by name. And she said, we may be loud, but we are very transparent. Esau know we ain't on no fucking bullshit, and they still tried to come with violence, man. They set their mouth against us, was ready to come with the sword. But the Lord, so raw, he had a woman stand up for us, man. More than once. They wouldn't change the language, and she said it again. And then he tried to... And then I forget, maybe it was Sessions. I forget which FBI member it was, because there was two of them. All right, went to try to say that New Jersey shit that happened years ago. They tried to link that to the Israelites, and she said it then. We don't know what level of affiliation, if any, that dude had with the Israelites, man. Shut their ass right down, man. Let's Yahweh show me how a shot working, man. Look, we got to figure how about Shimmy Howard shot. Esau don't got no fucking power, man. But he saveth the poor from the sword, from their mouth, and from the hand of the mighty. So the poor hath hope. We did multiple lessons on that topic. Because that was faith boosters right there. All right, Elder Malcolm, myself, the Chicago camp, even in our Sunday Live, we went into that, man. This is our hope, man. That was a faith booster. And iniquity stoppeth her mouth. Behold, happy is the man whom the Most High corrected. Therefore despise not the chastening of the Almighty. So we had to get put in a lower state. Now we understand righteous judgment even more. All right? And also, the Lord is a fair judge. So we still had to get our spanking just for sinning anyway. Now we can get the kingdom, Now the Lord's like, you served your punishment, here you go. He's a fair power. He maketh sore and bindeth up. Hey, that's in 2 Thessalonians, the 1st chapter, it's about the 4th verse. We suffered to show the Lord. Let me just get it. I don't know. Ain't no even point in fucking it up. I hate when I click on that one. Because it doesn't erase the last search. Second Thessalonians 1:4, so that we ourselves glory in the churches of the Most High for your patience and faith in all your persecutions and tribulations that ye endure, which is the manifest token of the righteous judgment of the Most High. So this shows the Lord is a fair judge, man. He whooped his sons. That ye may be counted worthy of the kingdom of the Most High, for which he also suffered. All right, so we're suffering to be counted worthy for the kingdom. We're taking our judgment now. What's that? Micah 7. I will bear the indignation of the Lord because I have sinned. The Lord is fair. All right. For he maketh, Job 5:18, for he maketh sore and bindeth up. He wounded and his hands make whole. Now's the time of us being made whole. 70 AD was the beginning of us falling away more, man. That wasn't the time. So yes, Yahweh Shai had come on the scene, and his followers, we believed in him. We had that faith in him. But we still had to deal with the rest of the crucifixion, and so to say. We had to deal with the rest of the curses. We still had to go into captivity, even like King had to get on. We had to go through all this. But now is the time we get redeemed. Here's the difference, man. He shall deliver thee in 6 trouble, and 7 there shall evil touch thee. This is the end of it. This is the better is the end of a thing than the beginning. This is the end of the evil. This is the 7th time of the evil, man. So the Lord got us. Whenever he see fit, I can't say how soon or what we got to go through before the Lord intervene. All right? But no matter what, as we read in Daniel, we're not finna bow down to Esau ass. The Lord got us though, man. And anybody that dies in this truth is guaranteed elect. All right? Their works remain, man. In famine he shall redeem thee from death, and in war from the power of the sword. Thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue. We had that example already. When they tried to make that whole bullshit up, man. Neither shalt thou be afraid. She say, are there any white identity extremists on that list? She was going in, man. Representative Bass. I think her name is Karen Bass at that. Yep.
Here, Between
You got to search. You got
1956
to
and
do a deep dive for the other
1971, the
clip.
FBI ran a counterintelligence program named COINTELPRO that was initiated by J. Edgar Hoover. COINTELPRO mainly targeted civil rights leaders such as Martin Luther King, and it's commonly understood that this was an abuse of its surveillance power in a manner to suppress a peaceful movement. So I would like to ask, Mr. Chair, unanimous consent to enter this report into the record, which is Black identity extremists likely motivated to target law enforcement officers. I believe earlier you said you were not familiar with the report. Is that correct?
Well, I haven't read it. I know some of the alleged targeting of officers by
Okay, so I
certain
Call them in
want
the
to
lab.
know, and I'll ask you about that in a minute. So you are somewhat familiar with it. Who had the power in your department to order a report like this?
I'm not sure how that report got ordered. I don't believe I explicitly approved it or directed it.
Okay, so you haven't necessarily read the report, but you are familiar with the term Black identity extremists?
Well, I think so, yes.
So can you tell me what that term means to you? Do you believe that there is a movement of African Americans that identify themselves as Black identity extremists, and what does that movement do?
Well, I'd be interesting to see the conclusions of that report. But I'm aware that there are groups that do have an extraordinary commitment to their racial identity, and some have transformed themselves even into violent activists.
Are you aware of white organizations that do this as well? Given that white supremacy is well-documented, well-researched movements such as the neo-Nazis, the Ku Klux Klan, et cetera, are they white identity extremists?
I didn't follow that question, please, again.
Is there a term or a report on white identity extremists? You mentioned you were familiar with Black people who identify with their racial identity.
Yes, but it's not coming to me at this moment.
Not coming to you?
It's
Certainly a group such as the Ku Klux Klan.
Right,
yeah,
she just
and then
said
the
it.
skinhead movements, but there's a racial identity white movements that have been identified for sure.
So has the FBI done a report on white identity extremists that are likely motivated to target law enforcement officers? Is there such
I'm not
a
aware
report?
of that.
Okay. Are you aware of a group called the Sovereign Citizens?
I've heard that group, yes.
And I believe that the Sovereign Citizens is primarily a white organization that absolutely has targeted police officers and killed police officers. You're not aware of that?
I'm not aware of all their crimes, but I know they're a group that's known to have violent tendencies.
Could you name an African-American organization that have committed violent acts against police officers? Could you name one today? In this report, they name organizations from 30, 40 years ago, but can you name of one today that has targeted police officers in a violent manner?
I believe I could, but I would want to be, to confirm that and submit it to you in writing. But I believe we had, within the last year or so, 4 police officers killed by a group that some have described as extremists.
So what has happened is that there have been a couple of incidents in which African Americans did kill police officers who were not associated with a Black organization. And so one, for example, in Baton Rouge was associated with Sovereign Citizens, which is primarily a white group. So you should know that there's a lot of concern in the community, especially from organizations such as Black Lives Matter. By the way, would you consider Black Lives Matter a Black identity extremist group?
I'm not able to comment on that. I have not so declared it.
So you should know that a lot of activists around the country.
So that's one. This one. This was just hard.
Thank you, sir. The chair recognizes the gentlewoman from California, Ms. Bass, for 5 minutes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair, and thank you, Mr. Director, for being here with us today. And I also want to thank you for the time that you spent a week or so ago with representatives of the Congressional Black Caucus following up on the Black identity extremists. And I would like to ask you questions following up from that meeting. We raised a number of concerns, one of which the idea that that document was distributed to law enforcement nationwide, and also the concern that the message that that sends to many local law enforcement agencies, and how you distinguish between what might be problematic behavior, and also what is people just exercising their First Amendment rights. And so one of the questions that we asked you that I wanted to follow up on is if you've learned any more about what criteria, evidence, methodology that was used to even come up with that category of black identity extremists.
Congresswoman, as I think I may have mentioned in our meeting, the analysis that occurred there involved which is our standard practice for one of these products, and we issue them across all of our various program categories, is to take both so-called open source information, which is sure that the information that we're speaking in this context, as in what we do investigate, is particular violence.
Exactly, and I did find our conversation constructive. There did seem to be several things that I know you were going to follow up on, and so you were clear about the three categories that were reasons for investigation. And one of the things that I mentioned to you is the difference, and we talked about this, the difference between an investigation and surveillance. So you have the surveillance activity that may or may not lead to an investigation. And so what a number of activists are complaining about around the country is the increase of surveillance. Happened a variety of reasons. Some of this is it might be the protests that have taken.
After our meeting, I did farm out a whole number of follow-up questions to people. I will confess that I've been fairly busy lately and have not yet gotten the results of those, but we will continue to look into those questions.
Okay, we really need to do that because let me just explain to you that one of the things that all of us would like to take place in our communities is for our communities to cooperate with law enforcement. But at this point in time, to have FBI agents come by people's house after peaceful demonstrations, say something that might not be true, then that person feels as though they might be entrapped.
I want to find that. You know what? It was Ray, I believe. She had the red.
Thank you, Director
Okay.
Ray. Thank you for being with us today. And I know you've been here for a very long time. You know, we have spoken many times about black identity extremists, and I definitely want to ask you about that
And when
today.
we heard this, we already knew what it was about. It was about the Israelites. But check it
I
out.
understand that the Bureau no longer uses BIE and instead categorizes these cases under the broader label of racially motivated violent extremism.
So the Lord put the spirit out there. She got on their ass so much they had to change the wording. All right.
But one, I wanted to know if you guys have really repudiated the whole BIE category, because I know when we've talked about it in the past, it really didn't seem to be that there was much evidence that there were black identity extremists. And the title was a little longer than that. Something about black identity extremists that threaten police or attack police. So tell me what's different.
So I found our conversations before to be, very constructive and very valuable. And we also engaged not just with you and your colleagues, but also with Noble, with whom we have a great relationship and are working more closely than ever.
Good.
We have, as you mentioned, changed our terminology as part of a broader reorganization of the way in which we categorize our domestic terrorism efforts. So we took a whole bunch of categories, not just the one that you mentioned, but a number of others.
I'm gonna read this precept real quick. This is Isaiah 51, because ain't no niggas out here coming against these devils, man. Niggas are docile. They killing their own. When I say niggas, I mean all 12 tribes, Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, man. They fucking each other up, man. Isaiah 51:22, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, and thy power that pleaded the cause of his people. Behold, I have taken out of thy hand the cup of trembling, even the dregs of the cup of my fury. Thou shalt no more drink it again. And we're witnessing that, man. We're seeing Esau fall and complain about them losing their country, man. And it's only finna get worse for them. And it's only going to get better for us. It said the cup is leaving our hands and going into theirs. But I will put it into the hand of them that afflict thee, which have said to thy soul, bow down that we may go over. And thou hast laid thy body as the ground and as the street to them that went over. These niggas, whatever Esau say, They follow. Docile, man. They not rising up, doing shit, man.
Consolidate it down to really 4 buckets, and the reason for that is
What are
we-
the
That whole
buckets?
what's that?
that whole notification was
There's racially motivated
bullshit.
violent extremism, which is, any kind of violent extremism
Niggas
that's
ain't
driven with a kind of
Having
racial intent of one sort or
gathering
another, no matter
identity
which
and going
direction.
after law enforcement.
There
That's the point.
is anarchism / government extremism. I may not have the label right, but that covers kind of variety of everything, sort of certain kinds of militia stuff, all the way over to kind of more of the anarchist, maybe sort of Antifa-like kind of methodology. There is abortion violent extremism, people on either side of that issue who commit violence on behalf of different views on that topic.
People on either side of that issue don't commit violence.
Well, we've
I
actually had a variety of kinds of violence under that, you believe it or not. But
Really?
at the end of the day,
Buildings
and then the last one has to
doctors?
do with animal rights and environmental
Those are the 4?
extremism. What's that?
Those are the 4.
Those are the 4.
And none of those got
the point
anything to do
is-
with blacks.
The point is, we wanted to underscore what I told you earlier, but we wanted to make it even more clear that at the end of the day, for us, it's not about the ideology, it's about the violence. That's where we weigh in. It's not that
Right.
the ideology isn't important for
Right.
us as Americans, but we only investigate violence and the crimes that go with the violence.
But so
We
under
wanted to
the
make clear
racially motivated violent extremism, how many African American or black groups are considered under there?
Well, again, I want to be clear. We don't investigate groups per se. We have properly predicated investigations into individuals, and in some cases, they may have co-conspirators. But in each of those instances, it's where we have 3 things: credible evidence
Right.
of a federal crime, credible evidence, number 2, of violence or threat or use of violence, and then number 3, on behalf of some ideology.
So
If we have
so-
those things, only if
Right.
we have those things will we open an investigation.
So, are white supremacist groups under racially motivated violent extremism? Or do white supremacists have a whole separate category?
Well, again, I want to stay away from the use of the word groups. We certainly investigate white supremacist motivated violent extremism in the same category that we're talking about. So, for example, we just last month arrested 8 members, I think, of a group known as the Base. And there were arrests that were made not just in my home state of Georgia, but also in
Getting ready to go to
Maryland. Yeah.
Virginia, correct? That was the
What's
group
that?
that was the group that was on their way to Virginia?
I think that's right. I can't remember that detail
So
specifically.
there
but-
are organizations, and I understand that, when you say you just investigate individuals, I mean, that you just gave an example of a group. So I know that there are a lot of white supremacist groups. And so my question to you is about black groups. And so I don't know, maybe they're black individuals, but under the category of black identity extremism, formally, there were organizations such as the one in Texas and the individual in Texas that was arrested. He was incarcerated for a while, and then after being incarcerated and going on trial, he was released. He had activity on a website, and he also had literature when he was arrested. Are you familiar with the case that I'm talking about? We've talked about it before.
I think so, yeah.
So my question is, are there African Americans or black groups or individuals that are currently a part of the racially motivated violent extremism category?
Well, again, I don't know that I would speak in terms of investigating groups. We investigate individuals, and in some instances, individuals with co-conspirators. And I would say certainly there are individuals who we categorize and track under the racially motivated violent extremism part of our program management, who are African Americans targeting others. So, for example, you probably saw some of the reporting about the killing of the individuals in Jersey City, including the killing of the people in the kosher supermarket.
I did.
Those individuals were associated themselves with something called the Black Hebrew Israelite
Oh, I'm very familiar with them. So
And so we are,
let's use that.
that would be in that category.
So let's use that as an example, because I'm very familiar with that group. That group is in several what'd you say? Yeah, well, excuse me, but I'm taking the prerogative of the chair.
Hey, look, she said the spirit on her. Just keep going. She gonna say what she got to say.
Using that group as an example, is that a group, because they are open, I mean, you see them on street corners in different groups. They're not a secret group at all. Is that group part of?
Right, that's what she said. She didn't say we not. She didn't say we transparent. She said we're not a secretive group. Everything we're about, we put to the open, man. Hey, that's the same thing with our Lord Yahweh Shah. They came and got him in dark. He said that not do these things openly. Let me see if I can find that, man. If a brother can beat me to a poster for me. They came and snatched him up. He said, I did these works publicly, man. I think it's another one. Damn. This is work. This maybe I'm putting two scripts together, but this is cool. The John 18:19, the high priest that asked Yahweh Shah of his disciples and of his doctrine. Yahweh Shah answered him, I spake openly to the world. I ever taught in the synagogue and in the temple, where the Jews always resort, and in secret have I said nothing. Why askest thou me? Ask them which heard me, what I have said unto them. Behold, they know what I said. And when he had thus spoken, one of the officers which stood by struck Yahushua with the palm of his hand, saying, Answerest thou the high priest so? Yahushua answered him, If I have spoken evil, bear witness of the evil. But if well, why smitest thou me? All right? So just like, hey, Yahushua, hey, she said it the same, man. We are a very open group. We don't do anything in secret. What we about is righteousness. And the Lord comes to deliver us out of the hands of you devils, man. And this only strengthens our argument that we have the truth, because you want to come after us for just speaking the scriptures.
Racially motivated, are open, I mean, you see them on street corners in different groups. They're not a secret group at all. Is that group part of the racially motivated extremism? The group. I understand the act that took place. I understand the individuals, and it's not clear their level of association.
Right. So she
What I
said
would
that
say to you on that.
dude
is
ain't
that
even,
we
he
have
was not affiliated
some
with us.
investigations into individuals who associate themselves with that movement.
Beyond those two people.
Yes.
Okay. And Director Ray, documents published in...
There you go, man. So the Lord is with us, man. Fuck Esau. Romans 13:1. Let every soul be subject to the higher powers, for there is no power but of the Most High. The powers that be are ordained of the Most High. The Lord controls even Esau, Edom, his armies, his police force, everything. Whosoever therefore resists the power, resists the ordinance of the Most High, and they that resist shall receive to themselves damnation. For rulers are not a terror to good works. So we're not worried about Esau, man. But to the evil, with that, hey, even in captivities, look at examples like Daniel. We in Babylon in captivity, but he's cool with the king. Even after Joseph went through his sufferings after being sold into captivity, he eventually became the number 2 of Egypt. The Lord got us, brothers. For rulers are not a terror to good works, but to the evil. Wilt thou then not be afraid of the power? Do that which is good, and thou shalt have praise of the same. I'm trying to remember in Greece, well, during the time of Greece, during the time of the Maccabees, and we had favor with the different heathens, man. All right, we had favor with the different, even with the Antiochians, man. Epiphanes was just different. We had favor with them, man. When a man ways please the Lord, he makes his enemies to be at peace with him. Hold on. Let me see. Am I tripping? Let's see. I'm whoa. I was looking through Maccabees trying to find that. This is Romans 13:4. For he is the minister of the Most High to thee for good. But if thou do that which is evil, be afraid, for he beareth not the sword in vain. For he is the minister of the Most High, a revenge to execute wrath upon him that doeth evil. So the Lord controls everything, man. This is back in Job 5. That's 21. Thou shalt be healed from the scourge of the tongue. We just looked at an example. Neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh. At destruction and famine thou shalt laugh, man. Neither shalt thou be afraid of the beasts of the earth, for thou shalt be in league with the stones of the field, and the beasts of the field shall be at peace with thee. So we in hey, look, our Father is the creator and doer of all things, man. What the hell do we got to worry about? All right. This is going too. Acts 20:20. How I kept back nothing that was profitable unto you, but have shown you, have taught you publicly and from house to house. All right. So the will of the Lord be done. With that, hopefully it was edifying. All praise, and may how about you keep us from evil, harm, and danger. May we be counted as the elect, righteous, joint heirs with Yahweh Shai. That being the case, Esau can't do shit against us, brothers. So fuck this devil, man. This shit gotta go for us to get saved. All praise, honor, glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham Rakakodash. Oh yeah, in case anybody missed it, the Day of Atonement is this Thursday, August 24th at Eve until Friday, the 25th at Eve. So and it's been a scorcher in the Midwest these last days. So get your hydration up. All right, and prepare our minds. Being that mournful, lamenting state, and seek the mercies and forgiveness of Yahweh Shem Shai. Shalom.